What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So today we're going to be talking about family fame and how to make more silver daily. Now, with this week's patch, they actually raised the amount of silver you get every day, and I want you guys to actually learn how to do this more or less optimally and some of the easiest life skills to do and just overall how to make more silver every day. So, as we all know, making the most silver is realistically going to be through combat fame, and you get one combat fame for each character level, and it says that in the tooltip, double from 56 to 60. So as far as I understand, there's no way to cap out yet. Maybe in the future there will, but I'm just going to give you some quick tips on all three things, how to get the maximum or as high as you can, and we'll talk about the easy life skills to do. So anyway, with that said, combat fame, this one is pretty easy, and all you have to do is get your characters to like level 60 and up. Obviously 61 and up just, gives you +5 more. Everything kind of counts, but it's very minimal. I assume most people are within like the 65 to pretty much like the 73 range. I don't think you can cap out just yet, but I've always talked about this in my other videos of why it's important to have multiple characters, even if you don't play them all. And the answer is because, one, they're like energy batteries. You can store energy on all your characters, hold fail stacks, put them in, like different world boss areas. But also, by just playing them and having characters at different levels, like above 60, you're generating daily silver just through combat fame. So here's what I'd recommend if you are a beginner and just like, oh, I don't have time to play all these characters. It's super easy. You don't even have to have seasonal characters. You will have to probably buy the character slots, which it used to be you can get character slots through loyalties. Then they changed it to the point where you'd have to buy them. So I understand that I have like almost 40 character slots, but new players will probably have like, what, 5 or 6 of them. So that's one thing. But I think in long term, just playing the characters itself is probably the most fun. Silver is a secondary thought. And yeah, you can watch my videos of me just doing seasonals and everything just to level up to 60. I'll just do a quick TLDR. Let's say you're starting on a new character, right? Basically, from starting at Western Guard Camp, here you get to level around 15 just by doing the basic tutorial, grinding around Castle Ruins, and then Bloody Monastery till mid-30s is where I can go. And then if you're a newer player, Mascal 40s, you can stay here like mid-30s until probably 40s if you wanted to. And then I'd recommend, where is it? Like down, there's like where's the Marnie's lab if you want to. This is a little bit easier to do. And then you could end it over here at Catfishman Camp at around 50s. And then from 50 to like 60, you could probably go to Polly's Forest down here, or newer players, if you are uncomfortable with that, Soldier Cemetery. And there's also another one, but it's not super beginner friendly. You kind of have to know what you're doing. Is down around Trader's Graveyard. You could get to 61 here, but this one requires like, actually going down here. So I think this one is good, but for most people, Polly's Forest is just easier to do. And yeah. So anyway, that's how you do it on all your characters. Get as many characters to 60 plus as you can, and you'll be fine. Now, life fame. At Professional 1, you get, life fame total is 93. After Professional 1, adds 3 more. And at Guru, it totals 243. So if we're going to go look at all the life skills, here's the ones I would recommend you doing. Obviously, doing more life skills equals higher life fame, but the easiest ones to do with actually profit on the side: fishing. Just go fishing, go AFK fishing, you level up pretty quickly. Same with processing. Processing is one of those basically AFK activities. You come back every like 15-20 minutes and then reset it, but you're realistically not really doing anything. Horse training is also a pretty AFK one. It could be like active if you wanted to, but if you're just leveling up your horses, that's good. Same with cooking is easy as well. And then those are realistically the easiest ones to do, and then everything else is active playing. So the ones that make the most silver, like if you're playing just trying to level up, is gathering, hunting. These are very solid, but they require you to actually play a little bit. Farming is one of those things where you just kind of, your crops grow over time as long as your account is logged in. So you do that a couple times a day. Harvesting it manually versus having a worker on it will help you level up faster, but it's also more active work. So if you're a new player, what I would recommend, try gathering a little bit. You'll get a bunch of silver on the side to help you progress through your game. Fishing when you're going AFK or overnight. Learning cooking and alchemy processing early on, it will definitely help you out later on. And then if you are interested, try out horse training. Those are always good. The rest of them are, you just kind of do it because you need something in particular. Sailing and bartering is just kind of like playing a different game itself. So yeah, one of those things. I talked about this in my life skill video of like talking about every single life skill, which ones make the most silver. But if your only goal is to make life skill fame and get it to guru as fast as possible, cooking is very easy. Fishing, alchemy is not as easy simply because it doesn't have to mass alchemy same as cooking does. But like cooking, you should be doing imperial deliveries every day as well. Processing, come back every 20 minutes, and then you can AFK horse train. All right, so going into special fame. Now, this one is a total of your contribution points and your knowledge. And contribution points over here, they made this easier in the previous months because they reduced the amount of XP you need to get contribution point levels. And also they increased the amount of byproducts you get from, doing the life skills, so like cooking. Farming is actually a very strong one for contribution points nowadays. So anything like gathering, you should trade those in for sharps. But cooking, alchemy, you trade them in for the contribution point option, and that's a very solid choice as well. Cooking is a very solid one. The thing I would recommend for most people with cooking is what I personally do, or I did back in the day, was I made a bunch of grilled bird meat. You know how in my previous node video I talked about just me cooking chicken meat and then a lot of beer to feed my workers? I'll probably never use all of this in my entire BDO career, but it's something I did to boost contribution points just from the byproducts. So you get a bunch of Witch's Delicacy for cooking, Mysterious Catalyst for alchemy, Blush Leaves for farming, and glass bottles for fishing. Now, admittedly, glass bottles for fishing, I turned them into silver keys because I do a lot of gathering. And then with the fairy breath, I turned those into the sharps and for enhancing and stuff. And it's also just very solid profit. So yeah, I'd recommend fairy breath for sharps and then everything else for contribution. So this also includes knowledge as well. So what I'd recommend for knowledge is obviously one day you guys are going to have to do an energy push. And you know what the most satisfying thing is? When you get your energy and you see that notification that's like you gain +1 energy, that's actually very satisfying. So yeah, the easiest one for knowledge is I would just go through all of the easy ones. But realistically, characters is literally just talking to NPCs, and then knowledge of like ecology is when you're playing the game naturally. You get all of that, and then everything else is just doing questing, Amity games and everything. So I know it's very confusing, and knowledge is, very time consuming. But ecology is one of those things you just work on over time. So admittedly, if you were to do this is probably the least important of the three. Combat fame being the most important for your total amount of silver. All of these add up. And then life skilling for whatever you're doing. So yeah, and then total family fame. This one did not change, but you should try to at least get over 7,000. I think what they should do is raise that. So you know how it says 1, 4, and 7,000. They should probably raise that to like a 10,000. You know how every year it gets more expensive for endgame players to upgrade their weapons. They should change it like 10,000 silver collected from Central Market, like 2% or something. Even if it's not that much more, it's really nice. And an item drop rate, you know, a 15% would be nice. But yeah, so recap of all of that. Combat fame is extremely important. What I would recommend working on first is actually very easy. Life skilling, the ones that I talked about before. Special fame, you just kind of get this over time by playing the game naturally and then grinding different spots and then doing questing and talking to NPCs. And then family fame, this one didn't even change. So yeah, that's about it. Wanted to talk about everything. I think right now I am making around, if I just added all of this up, probably like 118 or 16 million a day, or I don't remember. I collected it, but I'll check it again later on. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys an update that that's what happened this week in the patch, and everyone went up from making like what 10 to 20 million silver a day to like multiply that by 5 probably. So yeah, I think that's good. With that said, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Would love to see you guys come back. And for the rest of January, I do have a creator code if you are thinking about buying any pearls or, you know, the game package from the site that you got for like $1 and you plan on upgrading it. Use my code. I get a small portion of it. It's always appreciated. And even if you aren't, thank you so much for watching. That's all that matters. And I will see you guys later. Peace.